welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to go over the Jersey Shore family vacation recap. Last night's episode aired. It is season 5, episode 16, and this episode is titled El Paso. There is a new season. It is on MTV. You can watch it on Philo. That's how I watch it, or you can watch it for free on YouTube. Now, if you watch it for free on YouTube, it is edited in a way that kind of makes it difficult to keep up with, but if I'm trying to watch it in a hurry, I will watch it on YouTube. Because you can kind of speed it up. Now, I've been working for the past 3 days on a story, and I'm actually uploading that video now, which is why I haven't put out any content, and it's why this recap is so late, because all day today and for the past 2 days, I've been working on this other story. So let's go ahead, let's get into this recap, you guys. All right, so this episode picks up right after news broke that Angelina sold the story. She sold the story about the wedding speech. You know, she actually sold the wedding speech. So this is months before the show even airs. You know, we're hearing that Angelina is getting married. And then bam, this speech is all over the news. Everybody's talking about the speech. We're hearing the speech where Snooki and Dina and JWoww gave this terrible speech at her wedding, and it ruined their friendship. Now, this is news coming out about that speech, right? We're getting to see the fallout from that. The thing is they were supposed to go on a vacation to film for the show. They were supposed to go, let me see if I can get this right. Nope, can't get it right. Okay, so they were supposed to go on a vacation for the show right as all of this was coming out. So good timing for us and not good timing for them, because who really wants to be around a bunch of people that you're fighting with, right? So they're getting ready to leave to go to El Paso, and Angelina, when it starts, she's at her house debating on whether or not she's going to go. She thinks that maybe she could go and talk to the girls and kind of smooth things over, but she also thinks that she's not sure. You know, she's aggravated that they took to social media to talk about the situation, and she also is aggravated that they're believing Chris. And she's very mad at Mike. She's mad at Mike because Mike is the one that started this whole thing, according to her, because Chris, Angelina's ex-husband, actually reached out to Mike and told Mike all this information, told Mike that Angelina was the one that leaked the story. So she's mad at Mike for being the one that her husband reached out to. And then Mike, he leaked the story. He told the group. So when Mike found out about it, he actually, in the group text message, he told the group, like, hey, girls, this is what Chris is saying. Chris is saying that Angelina sold the story herself. So everybody's headed out to El Paso. Everybody's headed out to El Paso? El Paso. And Angelina's trying to figure out if she's going to go. So Paulie's leaving. Everybody's leaving. Jeez Louise. Every one I try to click on is not what pops up. So we're just going to do this. One day I'm going to figure out how to get pictures up on here for you guys. I did pictures one time and they come out super small, so it didn't work. Sometimes pre-recorded videos are a lot easier. Sometimes they're a lot harder. Okay, so anyways, they all head to the airport. They are flying on a private plane to go to El Paso. So it's Mike, Vinny, Jenny, Dina, and Snooki that are all on the plane. They get on the plane, and the captain says, are we clear for takeoff? Are we ready to go? And they're all kind of looking around because they don't know if Angelina's going. They're like, does anybody know if Angelina is coming? And they're like, no, we don't know if she's coming or not. So they decide that they're going to call Angelina to see if she's coming, because they don't want to take off without her, right? That would kind of make things worse if she was planning on coming and she was just running late and they took off without her. So Snooki tries to call. Hey, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you so much. So Snooki tries to call her, and it goes straight to voicemail. And then JWoww tries to call her, Jenny tries to call her, and it goes straight to voicemail. So they've come to the understanding that more than likely they're blocked. Um, which would probably make sense. You know, they're all fighting, they've been feuding on social media, so it makes sense that they're probably all blocked. But they also decide, well, if we're blocked, she's probably not going to come, so let's go ahead, let's head out. So they leave. Now, we see Angelina, she is going to her doctor's appointment because Angelina just had nose surgery, and when she went for the checkup to get her galls off, they told her that she needed to come back to see the doctor for another appointment because when she was under to get her nose done, her blood pressure was kind of going crazy. That it wasn't like it should be for her to be so young. Her blood pressure shouldn't have been so high. So they're like, you need to come back in so the doctor can kind of explain to you about what happened with your blood pressure because your blood pressure was high. So the day that everyone's leaving to go to El Paso, Angelina is actually meeting with her rhinoplasty doctor. And when she comes in, you know, he asks her obviously about the nose, and he tells her, listen, while you were in surgery, for some reason, your blood pressure was all over the place, which is not normal, especially for someone your age. So you really need to schedule an appointment with your family doctor, your primary care doctor, have some blood drawn, get a full workup because something is obviously causing you to have issues with your blood pressure. Now Angelina obviously is like, well, I got a lot going on in my life. Um, every time I got a lot going on in my life. She kind of breaks it down to the doctor, like kind of what's going on and why her blood pressure is high, and ask him like what do I need to do, you know, and he says, well, besides getting a full workup, you know, with your doctor, you need to try to meditate, maybe do yoga, but just stay out of stressful situations. And she tells him essentially that her friends were going on a trip and she's glad that she decided not to go because she would be walking into a stressful situation. If the stress of the show is giving her high blood pressure, maybe she should stop sleeping around or leave the show. I mean, you know what I'm saying? How dealing with one significant other could give you high blood pressure. Could you imagine dealing with two or three? I got it right now, babe. I'll figure it out. So yeah, essentially she's like, I'm glad I didn't go because I need to focus on myself. 2022 is going to be my year. Um, and if I would have went, it just would have caused me problems, you know? But yeah, really the issue is not that, um, I mean, obviously that's the issue, but one of the main issues is she's got too many men. Sienna, I cannot believe Angelina was the one that leaked the audio. It's crazy. She needed money, obviously, at the time for her divorce, maybe from Australia. It's possible. I really think she just wanted, I mean, her wedding was already in the news. Like, plenty of outlets were talking about her wedding, but maybe she wanted something even bigger. Like this, when this audio leaked, you guys, it was a big thing. I remember like so many YouTubers talking about it. I talked about it a lot because it was a big thing, you know? Like when we first heard it, we were all like, oh my God, no, they didn't. They went in on her. Then when you watch the episode, you're like, oh, she told him to. His best man did it as well. She was fine. So I just think she wanted to make something that was already a moment, an even bigger moment. So after that, let's see. I got my notes here. After that, Polly actually makes it to the house first. They've rented this really nice Airbnb. It got a basketball court. It's got a swimming pool. Polly makes it there first, and he keeps calling Vinny like every 2 minutes. He's like, "So we got a pool, Vinny," and Vinny's like, "Okay, great." And then he calls right back, and he's like, "So we got a basketball court, Vinny," and Vinny's like, "Okay, great." And he's like, "Oh, let me call and tell him about the movie theater." Polly is like hilarious. Um, He got there first, so he made the most of his time while waiting for them to get there. They got there. He kind of showed them around the house. At one moment, though, Polly, Mike, and Vinny were talking about what happened. And Mike tells Vinny and Polly that Angelina had a 2-year affair with a man who they call Old Bridge. He says that she was having an affair. She was cheating on Chris with Old Bridge. And then she cheated on Chris and Old Bridge with her second side piece, Lewis. And that when her first side piece, Old Bridge, found out that she was cheating on him and Chris, he got mad and he called Chris. He called the husband and was like, hey, yo, our woman's cheating on us. Yeah, and I don't think Chris knew about Old Bridge, but Old Bridge literally called Chris mad that Angelina was messing around on both of them. He tells the boys that Old Bridge sent him so many receipts to prove that there was this affair going on. Vinny asked, Polly asked Mike, why do you think he reached out to you? Like, why do you think the husband and the boyfriend reached out to you? And Mike's like, man, I don't know. And Vinny's like, because they wanted it to get out. They went to you because they knew that you would get it out. You know what I'm saying? So they have that talk. When they're all together, Mike asked, or Polly asked, do you guys know if Angelina is coming? And Mike tells Polly that he believes that she decided to skip this trip due to the recent news of her leaking the wedding speech. Now, after they eat, they order like barbecue food because they're in El Paso. So that's what he said. Polly said, if you're in El Paso, you got to eat barbecue. So anyways, after they eat, they decide they're going to go off-roading. Vinny and Polly, they ride together while Mike rides with the girls, which I thought was really weird. I think this is staged. Hey, Justine, I can see you. When I do the recaps, I try not to look at the chat because I get so distracted. And then people that watch on replay get on to me. They're like, can you please stop reading the chat when you're doing the recap? I see you, though. Thank you for stopping by. But so I thought it was really weird that Mike rode with the girls rather than riding with the guys. But I think that's probably a setup. I think they probably said, hey, listen, Mike, you ride with the girls. We're going to have Vinny and Polly ride together. That way, Vinny could talk crap about you or could talk to Polly about what's going on and how Angelina's mad at you and all of this. Because that's what happened. So on the way to the site where they were going to go off-roading, Vinny and Polly, they ride together. And Vinny tells Polly that Mike seems to be struggling, that the new Mike seems to be struggling with the old Mike. So he says that he feels like the new Mike is struggling with the old Mike because the new Mike is like all about positivity, but this old Mike is like into the drama. He's like about it. You know what I'm saying? He says the new Mike changed, but this Angelina situation has Mike battling himself over what to do. Now they get to the place that has the side-by-sides where you rent the side-by-sides for you to go off-roading. Their helmets are huge. It's kind of weird that their helmets are so huge, especially on like Dina and Snooki. They look really funny with these big old huge helmets on. Let me see if I can. Let me show you guys. It's so funny. What are you doing? Who is that? Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, so my daughter's boyfriend was coming in to bring my debit card back. Sorry, guys. I'm going to see if I can back it up just a little bit so you guys can see. They look so weird with these big helmets on. Come on, show them with their... Everybody with their big helmets. It's so... And Dina is like freaking out. Dina's like, this isn't my thing. I've never been off-roading and I'm kind of scared. she needed help putting her helmet on. She needed help buckling herself in. Now, Jenny and Dina, they rode with Vinny. And according to Jenny, she's like, Vinny drives like my grandma. He drives so slow. And after a while, he's like hitting the brake, hitting the gas, hitting the brake, but he's not going that fast. Like, I could do better than this. And Dina is back there like this, like holding on for dear life with her eyes closed, like so scared. And they're both riding with Vinny. And according to Jenny, he's driving like a grandma. But according to the way Dina looks, he's driving like crazy. Look, there she is back there. Oh my goodness. That's one thing that I hate about watching it on YouTube is they edit it so much. Like what you guys see is how they edit it. It's so weird. You can't see the full picture. But it was really funny because Dina is literally terrified and Jenny's like, he drives like a grandma. It's terrible. It's a grandma, you know? So anyways, Mike rides by himself and he's like flying through the desert and you hear him yell, I'm on probation. Not really sure why, but they have fun. They'll have a lot of fun. Afterwards, they go back to the rental and they're kind of sitting around trying to figure out what they're going to do. And they decide they're going to go line dancing, right? You're in El Paso, go line dancing. Not that any of them know how to line dance, but they decide they're going to go line dancing. So that's what they do. But before they go line dancing, they decide they're going to eat again. So they sit down at the table and to eat. And they once again, Mike actually brings up Angelina again. And once again, he's talking about the affair. He's telling, now it's the girls. He's like telling the girls too. He's like, yeah, she was cheating with Old Bridge for 2 years. And when he found out about the new guy, he got mad and called Chris. And they're all just kind of shocked, like, what, really? So the new guy got upset that she cheated on him, yet she had a whole husband. Mike ends up telling the boys that the drama is really, or Mike ends up telling them that the drama is really affecting him because he feels like the old Mike is starting to come through because he's like, I really want to expose her, but I want positive vibes only too. So like, I'm struggling. Let me read my notes so I get caught up. Mike says that the reason that he decided to share this information with everybody is because he said, you know, we're so close, we're all family, we tell each other everything. So when I got this information, I just felt like I didn't know what to do with it. Like I needed to give it to you guys because we know everything about each other, right? So he said, I just handed it over to y'all and I kind of wanted to wash my hands of it, but now it's like a lot of drama. But he just didn't know what to do with it, so he passed it on. He said it was too much for him to handle. Now, Jenny expressed that she was really hurt that they had all been lied to. Jenny said that they went through hell after that happened, after that wedding speech was leaked. She said we went through hell, we were attacked relentlessly. And Ange the whole time was like, all Ange was about was like, my wedding was ruined. You guys ruined my wedding. When now, it's from what is being said, she was actually with Old Bridge. Like, she was actually having this affair when she got married. And then she made such a big deal out of this wedding. But she had a man, you know, like how important was her wedding if she was cheating on Chris and had this side piece? Dina says that she is very hurt by Ange, and normally when someone does this to her, she's like, normally in my life, when somebody lies to me and they treat me this way, like I cut them off completely. It's not a matter of if I'm going to forgive them, like I set my boundaries and I'm just kind of done. But with her, I guess she feels like she don't really have that option because the show kind of forces them to talk or hang out if both of them are going to continue to be on the show. Snooki says that this whole, that them going to El Paso would have been a perfect opportunity for Ange to come and be honest with them. She's like, she's lied so much. All she does is lie. While she'll sit there and she'll say, I don't lie. I never lie. I don't lie. But all she does is lie. So she's like, this would have been the perfect opportunity for her to come, just be honest with us, and we could try to move forward from this. And she said if she would have at least came and done that, if she could just own up to her crap, she said if she would just own up to her crap, I could respect her more. In a confessional, Snooki says, I just feel like there's always a victim card with Angelina. And she says that she doesn't need. She says she doesn't need to do that with us anymore. Like they're tired of Angelina playing the victim. Now back in Jersey, Angelina, she is at her. What's crazy is she just bought this like big mansion. She put it in just her name. Now her and Chris were together when they bought it, but she put it in just her name, and allegedly she put it in just her name. Well, not allegedly. This is probably why. In case they got a divorce, she would be able to keep the house. But allegedly, she did say that this was Chris's idea. I don't know. Now, if she was cheating on Chris with Old Bridge, she probably decided to keep the home, to buy the home in her name for a reason. You know, who knows? Who knew where that marriage was going to go? When she bought the house, she was already cheating. That's probably the reason she made the decision to put it in just her name. Also, she did say, I think last season, that it was the money that was put down for this new house was her money. Like, she put down the majority of the money for the new house. So, anyways, back over in Jersey, she says that she feels like she made the right decision not to go to El Paso, but at the same time, she feels like she shouldn't even have to be dealing with this. Like, she feels like she should have been able to go and everything should have been fine. Like, she shouldn't even have to deal with this drama. Which makes no sense. Like, of course you're going to have to deal with the drama, girl. Like, they didn't know. They didn't know that, they didn't know what was going on. And it just come out. So, of course, I feel like they feel like they deserve answers because they've asked Angelina before, do you know who leaked the audio? And she's like, I don't know. It wasn't me. I swear on my animals, it wasn't me. So they obviously feel like she owes them some answers, and she feels like she shouldn't even be dealing with it. Now, back in El Paso, the gang has pulled up to a bar. I think it's called Rick D's, either Rick D's or Ricky D's or something along those lines. The girls play pool for a bit. Everyone seems to have fun. Mike goes up to the bartender and was like, I heard that you have really good tacos. And do you know where I can get some good tacos? And he's like, actually, there's a taco truck right outside. Wild. So Mike goes out to the taco truck and he eats. And then he tells the employee at the taco truck, he says, listen, I'm going to bring my friends back out here. You didn't see me. Don't act like I wasn't here. So he goes back inside and they're all like, where you been, Mike? He's like, oh, I had to use the restroom. They're like, okay. Then he says, I'm really hungry and I was told there's some really good tacos outside, that there's a taco truck. We should go try it because I'm really hungry. And they're like, okay. So they go outside. As he's walking them out to this taco truck, he's like, I just come across it. I heard it's like the best tacos in town. I don't know. Never ate here before, but I just heard about it. I just found it. So when they walk up to the taco truck, he's like, hi, my name is Mike. These are my friends. Mind you, he was just out there 10 minutes ago. They order food. They eat. And it keeps showing Mike say, yeah, I just stumbled across this place. Never ate here before. Got the best tacos in town. I'm glad I found this place, but I never ate here before. And they're all like, kind of looking at him like strange, like this is really weird that he keeps saying that. And then Pauly D in a confessional says, like, I don't know what the deal is with Mike saying that he's never eaten at this place before and that he just stumbled across it. But when he came inside from the bathroom and he started telling us about this taco truck, he had tacos on his breath. So, like, I don't know who he's trying to fool because clearly he's eaten here before, right? They had a good time though, eating their little tacos, and I'm not gonna lie, the tacos look so good. I'm gonna show you guys. I love street tacos. Street tacos are the best tacos, you guys, and that's what it looks like these could be, possibly street tacos. I do have to admit, I've never been to a bar that has a taco truck out back. Never, that's never happened. All right, let me show you guys. I like some good tacos. He was telling on himself. I know. I just stumbled across it. I don't know. So after that, they go back inside, and Snooki line dances for a little bit, and she's not that great at it, but she's decent, I guess. None of the other ones know how to line dance. She's the only one that knows a little bit how to line dance, and she actually goes up to this like older lady, and she's like, "Hey, can you call my friend Vinny out here and teach him how to line dance?" So the lady's like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And when Snooki's talking to this older lady, they're like, everybody in this bar looks like Snooki. Looks like Snooki. Like they're all short, like Spanish little women. And then when Snooki goes up to the woman, talking to the woman, they're like, "Look, that's Snooki in the future." And so she calls Benny up. She's like, "Is there a Benny?" However you say his last name in here. And he's like, "Oh my goodness, what did you do?" He walks up and she's like, "I'm going to show you how to line dance." He's like, "Listen, I do Chippendales. I'm a stripper. Line dancing ain't my thing." But she was up there, and Snooki and Dina and Benny all got on the dance floor, and she actually taught all of them how to line dance, which it went pretty well. I mean, Benny may be a Chippendale stripper, which I've seen him do. He's really good at it. But line dancing, not his thing for sure. He was really stiff. After she taught them how to line dance, she actually called Mike the Situation up there, and I'm actually gonna try to, let me see if I can show you guys this. He's like, "What am I doing here?" They're laughing at him. They're like, "What is this dude doing?" They're like, "Look, big." They're like, "Look, Snooki is dancing with future Snooki." She ends up calling Mike up, and you guys, Mike trying to dance with this woman. Oh my goodness, it was hilarious. Let's see if we can get it. Yep. She's telling Mike, she's like, "Come dance with me, Mike." And he's like, "Oh my goodness, no, this ain't for me." It's called Ricky D's. Watch, she tries to get him to spin her, and look what he does. I'm about to slow this down. Oh my goodness, let's back it up a little bit. That was hilarious. Watch Mike. She's like, "Spin me, Mike," and he completely fails. Watch. Ah, what? And they're like laughing. He finally gets a spin on her. He finally does a good spin. And the woman says, "That wasn't too painful there, was it?" He's like, "Not for you." um Honestly, like this episode itself, like there wasn't a lot of drama. It was just them going to El Paso, Angelina making the decision on whether or not she was going to go, which obviously she decided not to go. And then when she saw her doctor for her nose, he tells her, "Listen, you got some stress in your life that's causing you blood pressure problems. You need to stay away from stress." And she's like, "Yeah, well, me and my friends were supposed to go to El Paso, and I decided not to go to avoid stress, and I made the right decision." And then her basically convincing herself that if she would have went, it shouldn't have been any issues. Like the girls shouldn't be mad at her, and them actually getting to El Paso and having a pretty good time. They went off roading. Dina was scared. Vinny drove like a grandma, but Dina was still scared. They went line dancing, and everything was pretty well. But yeah, I'm gonna continue doing the recaps. I think I think Angelina is going to show up in El Paso. I don't know that for sure, but I have a suspicion that she's gonna show up in El Paso. Hopefully she does, because this episode, while it was decent, there just wasn't a lot to it. Like last week was when I started covering this again, and I didn't even know the episodes were back on. Like I didn't even know that it was playing again, which I normally do cover it, but I didn't know it was back on. But the episode was so um, filled with drama that there were news. There were articles coming out about what happened in it, and that's how I saw that it was back on, because there were articles out that I read. And I was like, oh my God, the show is back on. And I committed to doing the recaps, so I'm going to do the recaps. This episode wasn't a whole lot, but it's just the beginning of them going to El Paso, and I do feel like she will eventually come, and we're going to see her butt heads with the other girls. So I'll continue to cover the season. Right, she probably will. She can't lose this check, especially after she just bought that big old $1 million home. So why did they cancel the 2.0? Anyone know? I'm not sure. I did just read that production was shut down. They're not really saying why. I tried to learn how to line dance. People were saying I picked it up, but that was years ago, and I probably look a fool now. My mom knows how to can do every line dance pretty much. So I can do most of them, because my mom actually went to dance when she was older, like when she was like 25 or so. She took dance classes to learn all the line dances, and then she taught them to us. Yay! So glad you did too, Jamie Kidd. But let me see. Let me see where my other video is. I wanted to make sure I went ahead and I put this up 70%. Wow, you guys. We're going to keep doing it. I'm going to, Mama June probably is on right now, maybe. And I'll watch that in the morning tomorrow. And we will cover that maybe tomorrow, because I have not worked. I mean, I have been working, but I haven't put up content because I've been working on this one story for days that I haven't been able to put up content. So I'm probably going to work tomorrow after the kids. The kids have football practice in the morning at 8. So after that, I'll probably come back and we might go ahead and do the Mama June recap. What is enough with narcissistic thing called Angelina? It's no longer the Jersey Shore. It's Angelina. Or frankly, I stopped watching. Yeah, she was the OG turd, not Amber Raven. Yes, she was the OG turd. Angelina didn't want to go to El Paso because she doesn't have real friends there except Ronald. And Ronald ain't there. Ronald isn't there. Candy, I am too. I am too. It's being so slow. It's at 71% now. But I will go ahead. I'm going to end this one out. You guys, if you have heard about the Marvon McCray story, I'm uploading a video about that. And it's like a 32-minute video to give you guys, if you haven't heard about the story, this is everything in a nutshell. So you can hear about it and keep up with it moving forward. So Marvon McCray, he was a Marine. He married a woman named Andrea. She's called Dre McCray. She was an influencer, Facebook account. She has over 600,000 followers. And when he got with her, he was in really good shape. She was a little hefty but beautiful. She was a makeup artist, or she did makeup. And it seemed like she became really controlling. They changed everything about the way that they live, their lifestyle, alkaline diet, vegan diet. She started drinking kratom tea and eating kratom spoonfuls, feeding it to her kids, feeding it to Vaughn. And he started having seizures. He is now in the hospital on life support in a coma. And going back to watch all these live streams that Dre did and finding out all the inside details to their relationship, things just aren't well. They don't make sense. He wasn't allowed access to any money. He wasn't allowed to do anything. She didn't like him being in the military. He ended up getting out medically discharged, and he had to become a stay-at-home dad. And it was just a very controlling relationship. And unfortunately, it appears that he attempted to end his life. And he is on life support. And yeah, so I'm covering that. It is a story that goes back so far, and there's a lot to it. So I tried to put as much detail into this 30-minute video. So anybody that has heard about it but doesn't know where to start, you can start here. And from this point, after everything that I tell you, you will be able to keep up with it. And I'm going to be covering it from now going forward. I will probably be doing a lot of lives where we talk about it just to get caught up, where I can show you guys videos of his wife in the hospital. She lied. She lied about why he was in the hospital. She told her followers that he was in the hospital due to seizures, that he was in a coma due to seizures, when really he tried to, his family had to find out through social media, and then she refused to tell them anything. She refused to give them any answers. When they drove 3,000 miles to visit him in the hospital, she told them no. She actually asked for security to have them removed. She had him moved hospitals like 4 or 5 times for reasons such as, I don't like what the doctors are doing, they won't let me do XYZ, or I don't want the family to visit. So there's just a lot going on with that story, you guys. That my video is 73% uploaded on that. I'll probably do a premiere when it gets uploaded. We'll do a premiere and we can watch it together. And I'll be covering that story from here on out, because I think it needs all the attention that we can get on it. Molly Go Lightly, Justice for All, they're covering it. And I did hear that there's some media outlets, some news media outlets that are going to start picking this up. So you guys leave me your thoughts about this week's episode of Jersey Shore in the comment section below. Also, please watch my video about Vaughn. It's just it's an important story. It literally was like he was a prisoner in his own home, and he was literally driven to this. I wish I could. Actually, Vinny, I'm gonna reach out to Chris. Maybe I can get Chris to come on, and we'll talk to Chris. I'm gonna shoot him a message. But yeah, I'll do that. See if I can get in touch with Chris. Maybe he can come on and spill his guts about what took place between him and Angelina. Probably not. He may have signed an NDA with the show. I don't know. But we'll see. You guys leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Check out the video that I have uploading. Hopefully it'll be uploaded within the next 20 minutes or so, and I'll set it on Premiere so we can all watch it together. But give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.